last few weeks for our Aiki Jiu-Jitsu class, we've actually been doing some Aikido and playing with the application of techniques. I've got a bit of a theory for you, and that's when you see techniques in multiple martial arts, those techniques have probably got great validity because each martial art has looked at the solutions to the given problem and come up with the same answer. So the best example of that, for this anyway, is Kotagaishi. So I think most martial arts have got some variation on the wrist twist. If most martial arts have got it, it's probably a very, very valid technique. Aikido's Yonkyo, or Yonkaijo, or immobilization number 4. So for those of you not familiar with Aikido, Yonkyo, I'm right-handed, so I'm going to do this on Max's left hand. Yonkyo works on accessing the radian nerve here, like that. It's a staple of Aikido, it's a characteristic of Aikido. But I've never seen it in a martial art other than Aikido. Now what that makes me think is the technique probably doesn't have great validity. That's my theory on it. So that's Yonkyo. But I think actually we can apply Yonkyo if we open up our mind. So the secret to Yonkyo, for those who aren't familiar, is I'm using this here. So this is the distal head of the index finger metacarpal palmar aspect. And I'm using a push-pull motion, a small circle motion. Index finger is out to expose this. So what I'm doing with Max is the button to the nerve, push, pull. Small circle, here we go. If Max is compliant, it works really well and makes me look good. If Max isn't compliant, I just don't think it works. But we can open our minds. What if it's not the wrist? What if I'm accessing the mush? That's a medical term, the mush. We, very fortunate recently, we had a seminar with Tommy Joe Moore. Go look up Tommy Joe Moore, he's awesome. And he was doing a lot of accessing the face in various ways. And I think this is highly compatible with that way of working. Now what I did, as a control position, I used Yonkyo, but I'm putting this here, into the philtrum. You've got a natural weakness here in the facial bones where they join. Way back when, back in the days before airbags, when you had car accidents and you headbutted the steering wheel, you get a fracture there. Of course, you don't get that these days, but it is a natural weakness. And if ever you've had somebody push something into there, it really hurts. So let's apply Yonkyo. So if Max was to throw me, for example, a straight punch, I might move to one side, get out of the way, and then immediately enter. Let's not give him any thinking time. Back of the head, here, philtrum, Yonkyo. How's that, Max? He said it's okay. It's not, it's horrible. It's horrible, isn't it? So again, punch happens. I'm going to move out of the way. Okay, and then I'm going to move straight in. Yonkyo, like I did on the wrist, but now it's on the philtrum, and I'm pushing back, and I'm making this small circle movement, and I'm pushing him to the floor. I'm going to do that one more time slowly. Can you get the zoom up on his face? So again, straight punch, move out the way, evade. Don't give him thinking time. Look at the camera. It's horrible, horrible technique. So suddenly, this technique that I'm going, yeah, I'm not sure about that one. Suddenly, it's got application, hasn't it? Just my thought for you, just playing with Aikido as it relates to Aiki Jiu-Jitsu, playing with other applications. I hope that is of interest to you. Thanks, Max. If you can get your own back one day, it's only fair.